Hi, and welcome back to MyExcelOnline.com. Today we are going to go over a few different ways to use if statements when you have multiple criteria to evaluate.
If you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel and Office, join our Academy online course and access more than 1,000 video training tutorials so that you can advance your level and get the promotions, pay raises, or new jobs. The link to join our Academy online course is in the description.
So here I have a spreadsheet, and it's time for bonuses. And I'm just going to use a simple if statement in here that you're probably familiar with. So let's just say everyone who has sales that are greater than 350 is going to get a bonus. So if I were to do a simple if statement like that, I would type equals if with a left parenthesis, and my first argument I'm being prompted for is a logical test. So let's just say if what's in D2 is greater than 350, and then type a comma. Then if that is true, we are going to return bonus, close the quotes, type a comma, and if this is false, double quotes, we're going to return no bonus, double quotes, and my parentheses. So I can see no bonus here because that is less than 350. If I click this cell and double click this square on the bottom right and autofill my formula, I can see that my first bonus right here is someone over 350. Same for here, same for here, same for here. So this simple if statement is just if this column is greater than 350, then it's going to say bonus, otherwise it'll say no bonus.
If you are liking this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell button to get notified when we release our weekly videos.
But what if I wanted the sales to be greater than 350 and I wanted it to be in the IT department? Because you know, IT people are great. I could use the same kind of if statement, but I would have to use another function known as the AND function. So let me just show you how the AND function works over here first. So if I type equals and the word AND with a left parenthesis, I will be prompted for my first logical statement. So let's make my first logical statement sales being greater than 350. And then I'm going to type a comma. And for my second logical statement, let's say C2 equals double quotes IT, double quotes, and parentheses, hit enter. So first I'll be returned with a false here. And I'm going to click and drag my formula all the way down. And I can see here that there are only a couple trues. So right here, the sales are greater than 350 and it's IT. Down here, same thing. And these last two, same thing. So here's some sales that are greater than 350, but they're in the marketing department. And here's someone in IT, but the sales aren't quite 350. So the AND function returns a true when both logical statements are true, and a false when one or more are not true. So now we can just use another standard if statement over here in E2. And I'm going to just highlight my AND function and right click and go to copy. Hit escape. Click in E2 and type equals if, a left parenthesis, and I'm going to paste my AND function right here. And if I click at the end of my AND function, type a comma, and if this is true, I want this to say bonus in double quotes, type a comma, and then if it's false in double quotes, I want it to say no bonus. Close my quotes, close my parenthesis, and hit enter. And if I autofill here by double clicking this square at the bottom right hand corner, I can see everywhere I have a true over here, I have a bonus. And so this is evaluating correctly. So what about this scenario? What if I want to give a bonus if someone is in the IT department or in the South? In this case, I can use the OR function, which is similar to the AND function. So let's review the OR function first. So if I go over here in column G and I type equals OR with a left parenthesis, I'll be prompted for my first logical argument. So let's say whatever I have in column C is equal to, in double quotes, IT, and then I'm going to type a comma. And I will be prompted for a second logical argument. So let's say whatever I have over here in column B is equal to, in double quotes, south. Close my quotes, close my parentheses, and hit enter. So if I select this cell here and left click this square on the bottom right hand corner and drag all the way down, I can see I'm getting a lot more trues here. Now let's see if this is true. The department here is IT. Same for the top three. For the fourth one, the region is south. For the fifth one, east and finance, that should be false, and it is, because it's not IT or south. This one is south, so it's true. These two are south, so they're true. These two are IT, so they're true. So this does look like it's evaluating correctly. So same thing here. Let's click here and copy our OR statement. You don't need to get the equal sign in there, and hit enter. And then I'm going to go into E2 and type equals if, a left parenthesis. I'm going to paste in my OR statement, type a comma. So if the OR statement is true, in double quotes, I want to return the word bonus. Close my quotes and type a comma. And if my OR statement is false, in double quotes, I want to return no bonus. Close my double quotes, close my parenthesis, and hit enter. And if I select my cell, double click on the square on the bottom right to autofill, I can see everywhere I have the word true, I'm being returned with the word bonus. And wherever I have a false, I'm being returned with no bonus. So the if statement is evaluating correctly here. So let's do one more way to evaluate if with multiple criteria. And let's say in this case, if my sales are less than 200, then there will be a bonus of 0. But if my sales are greater than 200 but less than 350, then the bonus will be 10. And if my sales is greater than or equal to 350, then the bonus will be 15. So how do I go about comparing all of that criteria? Because those are 3 different if statements. So if I type in column E and I type equals IFS with a left parenthesis, let's do our first statement. So if sales in column D, so I'm selecting D2, are less than 200, then I'm going to type a comma. What value do I want if they're less than 200? Well, I want the value of 0. But watch what happens next in the IFS. If I type a comma, I now get a second logical test. So what if what is in D2 is less than 350? Now, let's think about this for a minute. If it's less than 200, then it's also less than 350. But the D2 being less than 200 is evaluated first, and then Excel exits the IFS. So less than 200 has already been evaluated. So now if we just do less than 350, we are going to get everything that wasn't less than 200. So in other words, this is anything that is between 200 and 349.999. So what did we say? We said that if it was less than 350, if we type a comma, what do we want to return? Let's return 10. And then if I type a comma, my third argument is for what is in D2. And let's say if that's greater than or equal to 350. Because this is our third scenario. If sales were greater than 350, type a comma, then we want to return 15. So I'm going to close my parentheses and hit enter. And this bonus right here is a value of 10. Does that fit my if statement up here? 279 is less than 350, but greater than 200. So that value is 10, and that's correct. So if I double click the bottom right-hand corner of this cell and I autofill all the way down, let's go to another one. Let's go to a 0. This is 108, which is less than 200. And let's go to this 15 right here. This is 350, so this is greater than or equal to 350, so I should be returned with 15. So I can see that my IFS is evaluating correctly. If you would like further explanation on any of these if statements, you can visit our blog at the link below in the description on YouTube. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.
If you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel and Office, join our Academy online course and access more than 1,000 video training tutorials so that you can advance your level and get the promotions, pay raises, or new jobs. The link to join our Academy online course is in the description.
If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're really serious about advancing your Microsoft Excel skills so you can stand out from the crowd and get the jobs, promotions and pay rises that you deserve, then click up here and join our Academy online course today.